Are you ready to be the best that you can be? Join hybrid business coach and consultant Charity Brown and her guest as they give you behind-the-scenes access to the insider tips and tricks that will help you take your business to the next level. Charity has an extraordinary approach to boosting businesses to break out of their modes, influence their industries, and become leaders of their packs. And she's ready to pass this inspiring knowledge on to you today. Learn how to change your game and build your business into what you've always dreamed of, right here on the Create Clarity with Charity podcast.
Hello and welcome to Create Clarity with Charity. Today I have an amazing guest, Miss Stephanie Weber with theweberco.com. She's a consultant, media brand agent, and has tons to offer, inspirational journey from her entrepreneurial path. I'd love to welcome Stephanie. How are you, Steph?
I'm so great, Charity. Thank you so much for having me on here today. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you. I'm happy you're here because you have a great story. I relate to it a lot, and I know a lot of women well, really finding your branding and your niche and, your client avatar and everything that's so key to creating an effective business. You really go through in your programs and in your training. So welcome, and let's talk about you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I'm ready to dive in.
Cool. So yes, this program is about the entrepreneur themselves, the journey, the highs, the lows, and we like to keep it real here. So it's not really the easiest thing to start an agency. A lot of people, take a Tai Lopez course, social media manager, and they're all certified and they think they got all the tools and they're ready to rock and, start branding businesses. But as you know, it takes a lot to do what you're doing. So let's talk about your journey. Let's see how you elevated, how you evolved into this awesome consulting and agency owner.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start at the beginning. When I was 17, our family unfortunately had to file bankruptcy on our family business. So my dad was an entrepreneur, and that business in 2010 shut its doors, which caused our family to file personal bankruptcy as well. And at the time, I was getting ready to go to school, to go to college, and I had already picked where I wanted to go to school to study PR and advertising. And I remember my parents looking at me and saying, if you want to go and do this, you totally can, but we cannot financially support you at all. So you're on your own and you'll have to figure it out. So I had already been working for a small local boutique where I'm from in Indianapolis and had been working for them. I worked in the Office of Financial Aid at Butler University where I attended school. And then I was also teaching dance that first year. So I was doing a lot of different things in order to make ends meet, to put myself through school. And I remember saying to my then boyfriend, now husband, I will never be an entrepreneur. I don't want to put my family what we're going through. It's so awful and all the things. And so entrepreneurship wasn't necessarily on my radar. And I loved my job at the boutique. And I knew that when I graduated, I would be hired on as their brand manager. So I had a full-time job and all of that was great. So I had this career in the fashion industry that I was really thankful for. And I had a lot of great experiences and opportunities to buy and really take ownership of what I was doing with this boutique and a couple of boutiques afterwards after that time as well. But in 2016, the boutique I was working for decided to start doing influencer marketing. And so we were working with various different influencers to help support and promote our brand, which I had done a lot of work in and around for them. And I realized I could do that. I was like, I could do fashion, beauty, and travel influencing. That sounds cool. It's a kind of an outlet, a creative outlet for me. That's something I can call my own. And so Trendy and Indie was born. And I started to work and collaborate with various different small businesses in the Indianapolis area to be able to support them and ultimately drive traffic to them. Indie is very cool. If you haven't visited, I definitely do recommend it. We have some awesome local businesses here. And that was my heart behind what I was creating. But I realized in that journey that influencer marketing, while I built a 5-figure business that way, it was my weekends of shooting content with my husband. And it was every time we were out, I felt like I had to get content. And it became this lifestyle that wasn't 100% aligned with the vision that I had for my life later on, and for what I truly wanted to do and bring to the world. So in 2018, I had started to do brand consulting on the side. People were just organically saying, Steph, can you help me with my brand strategy? Like, I need to understand what my messaging is and how to position myself. And in 2018, I attended New York Fashion Week. I was sitting at Fashion Week as an influencer going, I don't think I'm meant to do this, and I've got to really pivot here. And that's really where the Weber Co., as you see it today, really started in terms of its pivot. And since that time, we have developed our coaching programs and now have just recently launched our agency as well. So that's like
Awesome.
a condensed version, but that's that. So that's kind of the
Yes.
background.
Yeah, that's definitely the roller coaster there. You have these epiphanies along the way and it evolves into something that you may not have thought about at the beginning, right? So
Yeah.
it's really cool how it's metamorphosized. I just pulled up the weberco.com and it really is an awesome site. It's brand new since the last time I looked. I can see you're doing some bold moves and have some massive strategy here to get some momentum. So that's awesome. So tell me about your new agency.
Yeah. So the agency was created over the last, I would say 15 months or so. I have had clients that come to me and say, Steph, I love that you coach. However, I know that you're great at what you do, and I just need you to do this for me. Can you put together my brand strategy for me? Can you execute my social media management? Can you help me put together a marketing strategy that makes sense for our next launch? So I very organically have had these clients that have been in my ecosystem and have just said, I think it's great that you coach. However, I need more than that. And I really need an additional role and support in terms of where we are in our business right now. So the agency was created out of looking at where our funds and our dollars came from, our profit came from over the last, 15 months or so, and going, why are we not promoting this? Why have I not turned this into something yet? And so now we have officially full scale rolled out our agency services, which kind of are 4 parts. So we have our strategy, which is kind of what we're looking at here on our screen. We have strategy, and that is just strictly you kind of coming to us and meeting with us and us piecing together for your brand strategy. You're going to walk away with an entire brand guide that is all of your messaging in one place so that you are really guided and supported in terms of what your brand stands for and how you're positioned uniquely in your market. For marketing strategy, it is how does everything work together in terms of what you're doing from a marketing perspective. Instagram, email marketing, text marketing, whatever elements that you have, how are these things working together, complementing each other, and actually leading to conversions at the end of the day? So strategy is us really supporting and guiding in that way, us talking to you, piecing it together and presenting it to you, making adjustments as needed, and then you're kind of taking it and going from there. Consulting is really sitting down and focusing on very, very specific intentional pieces in your business as a whole. So if you're like, hey, I just need some guidance and advice on what's going on in my brand, can you do a brand audit for me, Steph? Yeah, absolutely. We can do that. Hey, I want to create an affiliate program within the business. Can you help me just design an affiliate program? Sure, we can do that. So very intentional pieces on that side. And then we have our done for you services, which is really like your graphic design, copywriting. If you need social media management, we're doing that now as well. Email marketing. So those pieces that you're like, I don't want to hire a team member to do it yet, but I do want to hire experts to help me execute it. Great. We have services for you there. And then we have our additional services, which involve launch support. So hands-on, if you're getting ready to launch a new offer or you do launches multiple times a year, our team helps support you through that. And then photography, videography, we outsource for those pieces to our trusted videographers and photographers that are partners of ours. And then we do have monthly retainers. If you're like, I need the support ongoing, that's what that looks like. So we just kind of rolled this out based on the needs that we've taken a look at and also taking a look at how the market is changing too. So that is where the agency was really born.
Perfect. Yeah, because I mean, that's really the path to freedom as a business owner, to learn to delegate. So like you may already feel like you have those skills and you can do that, but when you're making multiple 6 figures and you're doing things that you really don't have time to do the posts and design your posts and write your copy and do the email, it's really, you have to learn to outsource and delegate. So that's awesome. It's a full suite now. That's awesome. I'm always looking for third parties to send my students after they've set up all their social media and they dial into their planning and execute it and learn how to kind of do it themselves, like ride the bike a bit, but then learn to have the pros do it, so they can understand what you're doing, so they can help give you the right information to execute their plan. But it's really great to have some agencies, they just tell you what to do. They don't actually give you the tool to do it. So it's like you do both. That's great.
Yes, we do.
Nice.
Yep. Super cool.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So that fire of coming back to not just coaching, but actually, adding services and agency to your gauntlet of tools. Let's talk about that reorg, because that was kind of like a reorganization of your business, right?
Yeah.
You had a baby, like life changed. You couldn't really didn't really feel being an influencer anymore. You like wanted to really tap into like helping other women and like being of service along with creating good mindset and now delivering some awesome tools. So let's talk about that shift. Um, you talk a lot about mindset, and we all want to know what that takes, like from when you're going balls to the wall, you're out there doing your influencer stuff. It's a lot of effort, it's a lot of busy work. It's like you're talking about content gen and picks and traveling and setting the stage for everyone. When you get back to it, wasn't that fulfilling, right? And you were looking for something that was really actually driving your passion. So let's talk about some of your favorite techniques to coming back to your vision and really getting to where you just landed.
Yeah. So I feel like we mentioned a couple of different things there, Charity, which is so awesome. But I think for me, realizing that I wasn't connected to what I was doing wholeheartedly, I think that's an important thing for so many entrepreneurs to really take note of, because I feel like we get in the grind and we're like, we've got to make the dollars and all the things. And it's like, but are you really feeling fulfilled in what you're doing? And if you're not, hopefully you've created a brand that allows you to pivot. And if you haven't done that, you have some work to do on your brand, because you're going to need to continue to pivot and grow and evolve as you go. And that's really important and crucial to the overall work that you're doing. In terms of techniques, I have a practice that I like to do at the very end of the year / very beginning of the new year. And at the end of the year on December 31st, I always write a letter of reflection. So it's kind of a like, what has actually happened in the last year? What's transpired? What do I feel proud of? What was I challenged by? What were things that were unexpected that came up? Just kind of a like year in review that allows me to just take a moment to be intentional, to be grateful for all that's happened, and to really say, okay, what do I need to do in this next year to really set me up for my definition of success, and to really be able to lean into what's going to be fulfilling in the next year. And then typically on January 1st, I will write a letter from my future self to my present self. So it's typically, January 1st of 2022, I was writing as if it was December 31st of 2022, talking about all of the things that had happened in this year, where I was feeling accomplished, where I was feeling led, what I was excited about from a team perspective, the travels that we did as a family, the new house that we're in, all of these pieces. So it's kind of that like vision casting. And for me, everything that I do comes back to vision. So I have this letter, and every time that I'm feeling like, oh, I got to get over this hump, like, how are we going to do this? There's a new roadblock in the way. I can come back to that vision letter and just kind of recenter myself on why I'm here and why I'm showing up and what I'm really working towards in the first place.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so key. Like that's like number one to manifestation as well. Like if it's not a letter, then the dream board, the image, the details, your notebook, and implementing that and being consistent is key, right? How many years have you been doing that? A long time?
I have been doing that for 3 years now.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing to, did like an 80-day gratitude thing where I just wrote what I'm thankful for every day. And it literally changed my entire life. It's like those simple things that will change and shift you from feeling like, kind of fed up and overwhelmed and maybe not realizing all the things that we could be thankful for.
Yeah.
We can bring those to light. So that's awesome.
Absolutely.
I love that technique, you guys out there. So if you want to do something, gift to self, write yourself a letter in the future, right?
Yeah. I love that.
That's awesome. So, what is it that you're working on now to really become that full, fledged coach, mentor, CEO person? I know that you have your agency going on, but you also do some coaching and events as well, right?
Yeah. So, well, we have a few different things that we're working on. Number one for me is always making sure that our team is supported and also continuing to grow. So that's a big thing that you have our team page pulled up here. That's a big thing that we're really working on this year, and linking arms, not only with just employees for the Weber Co., but also with people in the industry who can help support our agency side of things. So you're checking out Francesca right now, and this is she's our community engagement manager, but Francesca is so phenomenal with really making sure that people feel held in our community and that we are prioritizing relationship building in everything we do. So she's really in charge of that. She's responsible for sales, and that's kind of her zone of genius. Narvis is our accountability coach and our community connector. So Narvis really focuses on helping to support our clients on the coaching side of the business to make sure they have what they need, they're getting the strategies that they need, and they are taking action on a regular basis toward their goals. And Whitney is our newest member of the team, and she is focused on our marketing efforts for the Weber Co. as a whole. So in terms of marketing, this is Whitney's zone of genius. And also she does a lot of our graphic design. So that's really awesome that she's able to do so much for us. Nice. Kaylee is a member on our agency side. So she's an independent contractor with our business. So she has her own thing that she does. And then she helps with social media strategy and social media management for our agency clients. And then Lindsay is on here as well, who designed this fabulous website from Polished Code. Beautiful. And then she does all of our website design and development on the agency side. So if we have a client that comes to us and that's part of their package, Lindsay is the one that does that. And we work closely on that to make sure that it's in alignment with their brand as a whole. So that's one focus that we have for this year, is just continuing to expand our team and make sure they've got what they need. But we are looking into doing a couple of different events. One we actually have coming up for our clients. And so our clients are attending an event here in Indianapolis, which will be a great day of getting together. And then I'm working currently with another Indianapolis community member to plan an in-person event for later this year, but we're still in the details of that right now. So awesome. All good things.
Do you guys also implement like automated CRM, text marketing, email, and set up CRMs and
yes,
automated
we
systems?
We do. Yeah. Lindsay helps with that. Actually, she's, kind of a genius when I'm like, hey, we need a client to be able to do this, this, and this. And she's like, okay, great. I'll figure out what we need to do in order to make that happen. We love HoneyBook. HoneyBook's kind of one of our go-to, like CRM and invoicing and proposals, all the things. It does all the things. And so we really like HoneyBook for that. But yeah, there's a lot that we can do, and it's really, really powerful.
HoneyBook. That's cute. Cool. So also there's like a lot of planning and execution that goes into that, right? Like you have to have some amazing tools to run a team like that. So what are some of the tools that you use?
Yeah. So I like to say, Charity, that we are always developing and learning together as a team, because when you are a small business and all of a sudden you start bringing people in, systems get developed by other people. And then it's like, oh, there's a need for a new system and we've got to develop it. So we use Slack for team communications, which has been really helpful. We use ClickUp for project management as a team, and then for our clients internally. So it's not something that they necessarily see, but it's something that our team uses to make sure that if Whitney needs to create graphics for a client and I need to write copy, all of that's done and taken care of. And we use ClickUp for that. And then we also use Airtable, and Airtable is really our lead management system in terms of where people are in our funnels, who we're having conversations with, who we need to follow up with, all of those pieces. So those are kind of our three platforms that as a team we like to use.
Awesome. Yeah. You got to have those, you guys, audience out there. I mean, it's key to really run an effective business. If you're working on, multiple 6 and 7 figures, you have to have these really automated, amazing organizational systems, CRMs. They just keep everything in line. So that's great advice. Thanks for that, Steph.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about inspiration and coaches, because I know, like you said, you can't do it all alone. So do you have some amazing coaches and mentors?
Yeah, I absolutely do. And I truly believe that every entrepreneur should. So if you don't have a coach or a mentor that you're connected with, I really, truly do believe that it's important for you to get that support. As entrepreneurs, we are oftentimes pouring into a lot of other people and a lot of other things, and having somebody pour back into us is really important as well. And having somebody that can help us make strategic decisions is crucial. So one of my coaches that I started working with in 2020. Her name is Kelly Roach. She was running the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program. That program has gone through a lot of evolution and change over the last couple of years, but that is where she gave me a tool and a tactic that really helped our business grow in a massive way in 2020. So I worked with them for about a year, and I'm really, really thankful for my experience there with Kelly. I am currently in a coaching program right now that has given us another tool, tactic, strategy, and it's a really awesome program. I feel like I'm at a stage in business where I'm really looking for more like one-on-one mentorship and one-on-one support. So that's kind of my next step, but I'm always kind of going, okay, what makes sense based on where I am and what my needs are in order to really take the next step in business. So yeah, that's that.
Yay. Yeah. So you guys hear that out there. I mean, how crucial and key it is to constantly keep educating, have an accountability partner, have a coach, have a mentor, really, really invest in yourself and your business and your future. It's so important. So let's talk about the free offer you have on your site.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our avatar opt-in on the site. And basically, you guys, this is a really awesome mini course that allows you to understand A, who your champagne client is, B, what they need from you, and C, a check to say, are we creating our brand in and around serving this person, or are we not? Is there a disconnect right now? And so if you head to theweberco.com, you will see an opportunity on our homepage to be able to opt in for that. And it is all about making sure your brand is resonating with your champagne client. Your champagne client are like your hell yes people. They're the people who are like, yes, like sign me up. I need what you have to offer. And you're usually like, okay, I can't wait to get on a call with you, because they become some of your favorite people to really work with. So yeah, that is on there for you guys.
Awesome. So that's great. You guys really dial into that customer client avatar. You need to know who they are, where they eat, where they hang out, how much they make, where they live, what they're doing for fun, what news do they read? Like, get into the details. It's so important, right? Because if we don't know who our dream client is or who our main bread and butter is, then how are we going to attract that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure that the brands that we are doing business with, we feel a sense of human connection to them. And so that's why it's really important to make sure that you know those details, and also that you know, yes, what it is that they're feeling challenged by and their pain points, but it's so much deeper than whatever it is that they're stating out loud. We often state these kind of surface level problems out loud in terms of what we're struggling with. It's like, okay, but what's really going on that's causing us to feel some way? Because when we have emotions, especially when they're negative, we are motivated as human beings to resolve those. And that's likely why your business exists. But in that too, you need to understand what it is that your avatar wants and desires. What is it that their vision looks like for their life, and how are you helping them achieve that? So really important for you to understand who this person is in a very well-rounded, very deep way to be able to powerfully connect with them online.
Yes, amen to that. So that's so key. And she has a really awesome 3-step video here for you guys to really dial into what your client wants to hear. I mean, you really have to tap their subconscious. It's really important. Emotionality is the trigger. You need to connect to their emotions to get them to do business with you. And these videos get into that. So that's awesome, Stephanie. Thank you so much for all that value. Do you have any last words for the audience? Maybe like words of advice, maybe something you wish you knew when you started that you know now, just some words of inspiration at all?
Yeah. I'll share a couple of things, Charity. I think one thing for me is never say never. I remember when I was, young and 19, and we had just gone through all this as a family, and I was like, I'm never going to do this. Well, I think for so long I was closed off to the idea of becoming an entrepreneur. And when we put ourselves in that lack or that scarcity mindset, we close ourselves off to opportunities. Now, my path is my path, and that is my journey. And here we are today. And I'm thankful for that. But make sure that you keep your eyes open to opportunity, and make sure that you make decisions and take action from a place of where it is that you want to be, not a place of where you are now. Because whoever you are now, you are working towards something different. You are working towards growth, or whatever that may be for you. You've got to make decisions from that place. And the last thing that I would share is making sure that you are dreaming without fear. I have a ring usually that I wear. I don't have it on today, but it says dream without fear. And it's just that reminder to allow myself to go to that vision, to go to that place of what my life looks like 10 years from now, or whatever it is. Operate in that space and continue to move forward, even when things feel scary, even when there's a challenge that comes up, and continue to push on, even when there are roadblocks in the way, which inevitably happens in entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Patience is the virtue. Nothing happens overnight. Sometimes it
Right.
does, but not very often.
Not very often.
Like, I need it now, right now.
Yes.
It might be next year, but keep trying. Okay. Don't give up. Right.
Absolutely. Keep going.
Yeah, because it can get a little frustrating because it really does, take time to build a network, take time to, build an influence, takes time to build your
Yeah.
skills and your program. So, don't get frustrated out there, everyone. And just remember the fundamentals, getting that customer avatar. She is going to give you a free training to really dial into those champagne clients and get down to the nitty gritty. It's all in the details.
Yeah, totally is. Absolutely. Thank you, Charity.
Thank you, Steph. It was awesome chatting with you. I'm sure my audience will go to stephweberco.com and get that free training, and you can connect with her there. Thanks again
I
for
love
being
it.
here.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, guys.